Okay, great. Go live.
You're not live.
Great. Am I live?
No.
It says I'm live.
You're not live.
Okay, it literally says I'm live.
You're actually not.
Okay. Can you please reload the screen and check again?
Okay, now it says you were live 1 minute ago.
I am live. Wait, I am? Okay, can you mute that? I'm loading it on my phone. Alright. So there's 2 viewers. I haven't done this in a while. Okay. Sorry, guys. I wanted to show my face, but... Okay. I think... Alexa, come on. Okay. I guess I'm live. I have 2 viewers. Welcome, everyone. I haven't done this in a while. Sorry I'm late. I couldn't get the freaking thing to, work. Alexa, come over here and join us.
No.
Alright, let's see what it says here. I don't have a camera. I wanted to show my face.
Dude, why is this quality such...
Because there's no picture, Alexa.
No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the video I'm watching.
Alright. Anyway. Alexa, can you quit doing that?
Doing what?
Quit watching YouTube. You're distracting me. Okay. I have got to start this. You left the stream, didn't you? Alexa, I need you to turn that off.
Why?
I mean it. Turn it off. You're in my room. Turn it off.
I don't want to watch a stream.
I don't care, but you're not going to watch videos in the background. Alright. I don't know who this is that's viewing right now, but I would love for you to comment. Anyway, this is the religious discussion stream that I advertised, I think, 10, 12 days ago. Oh, your name is Hello. Hi. You spelled hello wrong, but hello. Alexa, come join.
No.
Oh, we have another viewer. I guess making this 10 days in advance was correct. Alright, I'm going to start the timer for 2 hours because I'm doing the stream so I can talk.
Oh, my bad.
Alexa, stop. I am doing this to fulfill my deal that made with my friend. So, I am getting my timer set up. Yes, you did comment. Thank you for that. Hello, Jason. Alright, so, I'm going to actually put that in the comment box, because I did want to show my face. Just in case someone joins, I don't have to keep saying it. Oh, hi. Wait, is this, I think I know who this is. Hang on. I know you can't see me. It's a technical difficulty. I wanted to do it on my computer that has a camera, but it wouldn't work. So I am sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to pin this at the top. I don't know where it went, but it said it was pinned. So we are going to start the timer. I know I keep delaying this, but 2 hours. Start. All right. So here's how I see this religion thing. I actually happen to go to a Christian school. I am very much not Christian. So I was going to do this on it so that... Oh, that was 2 minutes, not 2 hours. Hold on, sorry. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, now we're at 2 hours. So, with that in mind, I'm not an atheist to an extent, but not quite, a religionist. So, I'm doing this on that. So, I'm taking forever to get started. I am not good at this. I used to be much better at this. So one thing with Christianity that I don't like, I think it's very manipulative. Very manipulative. So I think a lot of the Christians say, oh, we don't do fear, nothing's fear. But really, I think that fear is I know you can't see me, sorry, what the religion is based off of. And that is what's kind of annoying to me. So, one thing that I have heard is that many Christians in general hate wearing masks during the COVID. So, with that said, they say that, oh, we don't like to wear them because we don't want to live in fear, is what they say. We don't want to live in fear, but, hang on, I have an interruption. Thank you. So, they say we don't want to live in fear, but we think that the mask stops the carbon dioxide or whatever they say. And really, I think that is living in fear. So, that's my first point. Hang on, I'm inviting some people. They do suck. I don't love them either. But, what the arguments that I make to the Christians are, dude, it's not, I don't think that big of a deal to wear them into a store for 10 minutes, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say to that. So as far as the next discussion, when I have these religion discussions with my fellow Christian friends, they say, well, what do I think? Because that's the common question. If you're going to make an argument, you should at least know how to respond to it, right? So, I think the world was created in a very different way than the typical, and I say typical because not everyone's the same. I don't think it's fair to generalize. So, how the world was created in a different way. So, many of you may have heard the Big Bang Theory. And I've told my Christian friends this thousands of times. But the Big Bang Theory, that was the theory that, let's see. Usually I'm having this conversation, so if you guys want to ask questions, ask questions. That's where all the matter in the universe was all collapsed into one ball in the universe or some form of object. So, when somehow that exploded, I think there's a lot of problems with this theory because it's not, I don't know how it would all explode or why it was all in a ball anyway. But one thing we all have to agree on, because even when I start this, they were like, some of them would say, well, how did that get there? So, and that's a very good question, and no one knows. But what I would say is that since we don't know, we can all agree that something had to always be there. Something. Yeah, there isn't really any evidence to support it, other than everything in the universe is floating away from each other. That is evidence to support it, because that could lead to the point where something had to explode it, because everything's moving out. And that's a theory as well, but there have been tests that we've done to support that. So I hope that answers your question there. Yes, but we don't have very good evidence to support that. I'm not sure that's really what I believe. So, and then I get asked, well, great, so the universe exploded. How did everything come into perfect play where we need to, all the life on Earth is able to survive it? And what I would answer to that's where the evolution theory comes in. But we had to adapt to the universe, is what I would say. The universe didn't adapt to us. And so when the Christians say that, God created the universe around us to support us, really, if God did create the universe, I would say that God created us, people, and life to support, to evolve to the conditions of the universe. I would just say it like that. So that's a very good question. Explosions do destroy stuff, and that's how everything moved out. So this is where gravity would come in. So this is how I think we get planets. Once gravity works where one object that's larger attracts another object. And if you have a strong enough gravitational pull, then the objects can really come in. It's just like, let's say you drop an anvil on some sand on the beach. It puts a big indentation in the sand. Therefore, the anvil is actually attracted to the sand. But in the universe, when there's nothing else around, the sand would actually be attracted to the anvil. It's pretty cool, huh? Because the Earth is bigger than the anvil, so the anvil is attracted to it. So, yes, you said God created the Earth, which is the best place for humans to live. So that is another theory. That cannot be proven either. See, the way I see it, we have so many theories. Everything about the way the Earth got created is a theory, whether you want to admit it or not, because none of it can be proven. We can't prove it because we weren't there. And so we have evidence for certain things, but we can't actually physically prove it. And so, yes, that is a common belief that God created the universe. And really, that's the easiest thing to believe because, it supports all the facts where something had to be there first. It makes sense that a God would be there first. And it makes sense that it would just be created. But really, I don't believe that. But it does support all the factors. And here's why I don't believe that. So, evolution, whether you want to believe it or not, is actually in the Bible. It's commonly referred to as adaptation. So that's when things... Wait. So far, scientists haven't found any other place. Yes, that is true. But, the universe is so big that we might never find any other place. That is very true. We haven't found another place. Some of the thinking is, though, that Mars was once inhabitable for life. Because, like I said before, everything's moving away from each other. So Mars is not inhabitable for life anymore, but it was back then. Where in the Bible? What? I'm just curious. I don't know what you mean by where in the Bible. I'll answer your question when it's complete. Not to be mean, but so when Mars was theoretically closer to the sun, which scientists believe it was at one point, there was probably water. And water can support life, and it was probably warmer and didn't have so vast seasons. The reason why this is such a hard concept, though, is because then you still have gravity. And gravity, the planets orbit the sun, and it's pretty hard for something to get out of orbit. So, therefore, we don't really know. Does it talk about evidence? Evidence for what? The Big Bang or creation? For evolution? Well, so the way there's two types of evolution, as I mentioned before. Long-term and short-term. So longer-term evolution is the theory that we evolved from a very, very minute life form. And then eventually we got what we have today. We're modernized people, animals, which technically, according to the theory, people are animals. Short-term evolution is where people just adapt slightly. Where maybe we have longer beards because it's warmer or colder in the winter, so we need to keep ourselves warm. Like if you read the Bible, I'm sure a lot of those people, like, trying to name a few, John, Paul, all those people probably had longer beards because we didn't have as advanced housing as we do now, that we don't need it anymore. And so, yes, there is actually evolution in the Bible, but it's just not the long term. And so, this is the question that I would ask people who believe in short-term evolution. Yeah, adaptation is very real. We can prove that. That's a theorem. That is proven. Adaptation is very real. The theory of evolution in the longer term is not proven yet. Or disproven. It might be disproven. Who knows? But what I would say is, let's use cars for an example. We have cars now. Before cars, our modernized transportation was horses, But people today, that was more than 100 years ago that we rode horses everywhere before we didn't have any cars. So I'm sure that everyone in this stream who's going to watch the stream is under 100. So we didn't know. I mean, how would we know that people rode horses everywhere if we weren't there? The way we know is that people told us. So since there was no one there when people evolved from monkeys, which, by the way, yes, everyone can grow beards. That wasn't a very good example, but it kind of proves my point. So you just grow your little, and fingernails too. Truthfully, people today don't need fingernails. That we have those because of what we believe to be, we don't need to climb trees anymore and stuff like that we actually did need fingernails for, and they were a lot bigger back then. But let me get back to my original topic. So let me ask you, if you believe in creationism instead of evolution, do you think it could be possible, since no one was there, that maybe people were a different life form? Like, maybe we walked on 4 legs. Maybe not quite a gorilla, but we looked similar. Maybe we looked different. But we wouldn't know because we weren't there. But maybe it's possible. So, and we do have, and since we see it now, we see the evolution chain growing, where we adapt. Adaptation is real, as we said before. So just think of it as maybe in a longer term. Adaptation in a longer term. Just like when cars evolved from horses, if you want to think of it like that. Just in a different sense. So because of that, the cars... I'm sorry, I keep getting mixed up because I keep thinking about other things. So, I'm sorry, I got mixed up. Can someone remind me what I was talking about?
Cars and horses.
Oh, thank you, Alexis. So, cars...
Oh my god.
What is wrong, dude?
Dude, I can't see.
Well, have a sandwich. We have sandwiches here. You don't want those?
Ow!
Really, dude?
Max, no.
So, Alexa...
I don't like peppers. They're disgusting.
Okay, well, don't put them on my desk. I just cleaned it.
Okay, here you go.
Alright, thank you. Sorry. Don't touch it. It's a touchscreen.
I know.
So, do you understand what I'm saying, though? Like, adaptation in a longer term would lead to before people. So then, the theory of evolution, what I think, is that we really evolved from something like algae. So, you know how, let's say you leave a cup of water in the kitchen for, a year or so. Wait. Well, in the Bible, the historical evidence, records of creation, instead of... Yes, they do have historical records of things happening in the Bible. Now, the problem with evolution, though, is that we can't see it happening because it happens over millions of years, and we can't see all that. So, but the theory of evolution says that we start from algae, or at least I think it does. So, say we start from algae and we go through our little adaptions. So those adaptions happen. Maybe we grow gills, and this takes a long time. This, the DNA says that we have to have them, so we get them over a long period of time. And then after that, after we get the gills, maybe we grow legs or something, and we can walk on land. And this is, again, not instant. It's not like it happens in a day or a week or even 100 years, probably more like 1,000,000 years or more for a change like that. And then we walk on land. And then we start growing and growing and we go into a dinosaur. And then we change into something else over millions and millions of years. And then we eventually turn into some mammal that walks on 4 legs, something like a gorilla now, and then we get shorter because of climate change and stuff, and then we get taller, and then eventually we have a person like we have today. So, now the Bible only documents the person evolution part. It doesn't talk about anything before that. So, I just don't think that it could stop at a person. It just doesn't seem logical to me, and I'm saying to me, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it doesn't seem logical to me to say that a god or some higher power created the entire world, but yet nothing happens anymore. He's just out of the picture. No one hears from him. No one talks to him. Well, people talk to him, but people will claim all the time that people, hear him and stuff. Adaptions can only be formed when there is a mutation for an adaptive trait. So you want to grow taller because you... Well, exactly. There's a mutation or adaptive trait. So that's why you would grow taller. So that's why things get bigger and smaller and all that. So maybe we get taller and bigger when we need to climb trees. So that's why we had gorillas. And then when there was a lot of forest fires, the trees went away. So then we don't need to be as big as we are, so we shrink and over time. And then we are a monkey, and then we start figuring out how to build houses. So, and honestly, I think the things that we do today ruin the evolutionary process. Like, we take medicine for things. That's why our immune systems are so weak. We can't drink water out of a lake because we've been taking so many medicines and doing so many things for it that now we just can't tolerate the bacteria anymore. A dog or a cheetah, animals can drink out of lakes because they can handle the bacteria. People can't anymore. And we keep getting flu shots. It's weakening our immune system, so we can't tolerate diseases. Animals get those diseases too. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Evolution is a mutation over a long period of time. It doesn't happen instantly. Everyone seems to think that evolution happens as fast as a mutation does, but it's not. It's over vast periods of time. Way too much time for us to even document. And so that's what I believe to be the case here. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to make it 2 hours. Running out of stuff to talk about.
Drink chips I can eat.
No.
You suck.
So, why don't I ask for another question from the audience? Jason, are you still there? I saw you in there. I'll wait for a few seconds for the comment to come in. So, but let's pause on the evolution topic for right now until I get another question on it. Let's go to, at the beginning of Genesis in the Bible, I'm not a theologian, so I don't know what page or anything, but I know that in Genesis, it says, why does it take longer for the mutation to form? Well, it doesn't. the mutation is mutation, evolution is evolution. Evolution is actually, it's not a longer mutation. It's many mutations that make the whole thing longer. So it's just like, let's say you have a tape measure and it says 3 inches on it. You pull it out to 3 inches. So you keep adding an inch, adding an inch, adding an inch, and then soon you're up to 10 inches. That's so let's say 3 inches is 3 units of time, and that's how long it would need for a mutation to form, a mutation to happen. So, and then in maybe 10 years, that's an entire evolution, or 10 units, we're not saying years, 10 units of time. That's enough time for the entire evolutionary stage to form. So, I hope that makes sense. In the beginning of Genesis, though, it talks about how Satan, made that forbidden fruit, and then, Adam and Eve walked mysteriously up to the fruit and ate it, and that changed the entire world forever. Why? Why can't God fix it? Why doesn't God fix it? I know He can fix it, apparently, is what people say. So why doesn't He? And then somehow He fixed it by sending His Son that can come down and die and instantly come back. Why is that such a sacrifice? If He's a God and He can die and still be alive, that's not a sacrifice, in my opinion. And even so, all God has to do, right, is snap His fingers and the entire world's changed. Because that's not His plan. Well, then why isn't that His plan? So, here's another philosophical question. And actually, I want to ask you this, Compicon. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. 2. 2 is the last number in your name. So, why can God create... Wait, actually, let me start here. Can God do anything? Is there one thing impossible? Is there one single thing? He still went through the pain. Yes, but, why is that necessary? All God has to do is snap His fingers. Anyway, I want to move on to this one. We can come back to this. So, is there one thing that God can't do? Is there? Like, anything? Is there anything that God can't do? Tell me in the comments section. I'll wait a second. Anything. Okay, wait. Alexa knows one thing. Tell us.
Not that, really.
Tell us.
I shouldn't say on stream.
The stream is about
I know, Jack.
atheism.
I can't mark it.
I get that, but then why is it such an issue? So He doesn't want to create robots. That's correct. That was said in the Bible somewhere as well, or it implied it. So God doesn't want to create robots, yet He gets so mad when we do something that is not perfect. So let's say we steal, or we honor a different God, or we anything. If we do anything that's not perfect, God gets mad. So if God created people that He specifically knew were going to do that, why does He get so mad? I mean, it's like asking a toddler, to do things. The toddler doesn't know any different. So that's why that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, hello, you responded. So He can do anything. So let me ask you this. Can God create a rock, a huge rock? It can be huge, but can He create a rock that He cannot lift? That's what I want the question for you. I want you guys to answer that question. Can God create a rock that He cannot lift? God wants to see if we were to give free. Okay, so that's what God wants to see, but God doesn't see that. And if God can do anything, I'm sure He could change our mindset that we want to follow the 10 Commandments, or we don't want to do anything that's dishonoring. Nope. Person is perfect. Because he loves you, but yet that's not That's a stupid question. So you're telling me God cannot create a rock that he cannot lift. So why can't he create a rock that he can't lift? Oh, viewers are buffering. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I guess you guys are buffering. I don't know. So, God, why can God not create a rock that he can't lift? Why not? He can do anything, right? I get that this is kind of a stupid question, but I actually want to know, why can't he create a rock that he cannot lift? He wouldn't. I'm not saying he would. I'm just saying, can he? Can. If he, for some reason, wanted to, could he create a rock that he cannot lift? If in some universe that was called for, could he? Because it's just impossible for him. But he can do anything. So, if he can do anything, why can't he create a rock that he can't lift? So, I think that if he can create anything, he can do anything. Well, but clearly he can't create anything because he can't create a rock that he can't lift. I'm just saying. I mean, right? He can't create a rock that he can't lift because he can always lift the rocks that he can create. So therefore, he can't create a rock that he can't lift. Therefore, he cannot do everything imaginable. Or even not imaginable. Well, you didn't, really. Because the question was, why can't God create a rock that he can't lift? You just said he can do anything. So, and you also said that's a stupid question, obviously not. So, really, that didn't really answer the question. You also said because it's just impossible for him, he's God. Yeah, I don't see where you answered the question of why can't God create a rock that he cannot lift. So, sorry. But I would love to hear the answer to that question. But it's a very philosophical question. But I think it's a very good question. Why do I think God doesn't exist? Because the truth is, God has been the thinking of a God, not, as Christians call the God. A God has been disproven many times, and hear me out on this. So, many people back in these times used to think that, if you made enough sacrifices, it would rain. We didn't understand what rain was. We just, or where it came from, we just knew that it's water falling out of the sky. So we didn't know what created that. So people thought that a god was creating that, a rain god. See, many people actually think that there's many gods and not just one. That's a polytheistic thought. Christians believe in monotheism, which means you believe in one God. But with the thinking of polytheism, the rain god, they thought that the rain god created rain. So, we know that that's not true now. We know that happens because of condensation, and then it evaporates into the air, forms a cloud when it gets cool, and then I don't know exactly why it stays up there, but that's not really what we're talking about. And then when there's a low pressure area, the water falls out of the cloud. That's why it rains. So, therefore, there's not a God doing that. Well, I mean, or there is, but to me, that doesn't make sense to think that, since we actually know what rain came from. We also think that there was a God for fire. People thought that fire was God, a God. So, when the gods were mad, there was fire. We know that that's not true. Fire starts when something gets hot enough and there's a spark, or something like that. That's why there's fire. And, I mean, there's plenty of other things. So, to me, it doesn't seem like it'll be that long until God is just completely out of the picture. I mean, if you look at I can't say this word very well. Statistics. Yes, thank you, Alexa. The belief in God is actually going down as the generations proceed. So, therefore there's fewer and fewer and fewer religionists as the world continues. I mean, would you agree with that? And I think some of the reason is because we have more evidence. We just do. I mean, we have the technology to see these things and all that. You know, theoretically, and this is not exactly religion, but theoretically, we could even see dinosaurs if we could see what was here 100 million years ago if we had a telescope that was the size of Mercury's orbit, which is not possible because that's huge, unimaginably huge. And we also had a teleporter that could instantly teleport us to a planet that's 100 million light years away. And actually, that's all we would need. So, we could see what was here 100 million years ago. Time travel really would be possible if we had an instant teleporter that could teleport us infinite distances over, like, no time at all. And then, so here's how that would work. So we get our teleporter. We teleport us and the telescope out to this planet. There's a planet that's 100 million light years away from the Earth. Don't know exactly what it's called. But if we were to point the telescope at the Earth and zoom it in all the way, and remember, it has to be ridiculously huge, because of the way light travels, we would be able to see what was on the Earth 100 million years ago. Therefore, theoretically, I mean, sort of time traveling. Not totally time traveling, but kind of time traveling. It's just not the way they do it in the movies. But that would actually work if we could get a telescope and a teleporter, which we don't have. Well, that's why I don't believe in God. Because it's been disproven too many times. I mean, it's just not... It was reasonable to believe in God in the times when the Bible was written because we didn't know about things. I mean, what do you think that people thought when we looked in the sky and we saw stars? Well, people back then, let's say 5,000 years ago, or even more, when we looked in the sky, we see lights. We don't know what it is in the sky. Now we know they're stars because we were able to get into space and actually see them. And we know the sun is a star. And we just know what they are now. I mean, when you looked at the sky, we didn't know that there's actually... No, it hasn't since when? What? No, what hasn't? Oh, am I missing something?
I think you are.
You have to be more specific on that. But when we looked in the sky 5,000 years ago... Wait. Evidence... Oh, the God thing, yeah. Evidence that has been disproven because Christians... So, let's see. Let me review this. Evidence that it has been disproven because Christians don't think that God is the God of fire. So, well, but we scientists can disprove that because we know what fire is now. We've been able to run tests on it. So, has been proven even more? I don't think it's been proven even more. Maybe you can provide an example. I'll listen to it if you want to write an example in there. Anyway. So 5,000 years ago, I know I keep going back to this, but I keep forgetting where I left off. When you looked in the sky, you are just disproving other gods. Yes, exactly. So eventually, it seems like, once we figure out more and more tests and ways to prove theories, I mean, don't you think that the main God would be disproven too? I mean, just think about it. If every single other god has been... well, not every single one, but all the other gods that do earthly things, like bring rain and make fire and bring sunlight, that's been disproven. So it seems like it's only a matter of time, and it could be thousands of years, but it's only a matter of time until Yahweh, the main God, is disproven as well. You see what I mean? For example, more and more of the Bible's artifacts have been found, picture stories of what God has done. Well, not really, because we can't say that God has done them. I mean, we can't prove that. More the Bible artifacts. It has not been disproven yet. That is correct. And it probably won't be for a very long time, because that's a pretty hard thing to disprove. But yeah, the ancient gods have been disproven. But Yahweh has not been disproven. That is correct. So it seems to me it's only a matter of time. But I want to go back to the stars. So we look in the sky, all we see is the sky. We don't understand where they come from. And actually, I don't even remember my train of thought. So I'm going to come off that subject. Sorry to keep beating a dead horse. But yeah. So everyone in the Bible was just lying about Jesus. Not lying. I believe Jesus existed. I think there's no doubt that Jesus existed. He totally existed. But, alright, actually, I'll do that. I'll do just that. Hang on. I'll even turn it up so you guys can hear it. Alright. But first, let me talk about the first one. So, no, everyone was not just lying about Jesus. People wrote down what they knew about Jesus. And I believe what they knew about Jesus. He was a preacher. He preached religion. I mean, he was Jewish, really, when he was on earth. And so, but we don't know what happens after death. So therefore, we can't say what happened after Jesus died, whether he was risen or not. I mean, just because he's not there when you open the grave doesn't mean that he rose into the sky. It's just not really how that works. There were grave robbers back then. They could have taken it. Dead Sea Scrolls in particular. Okay, I'm going to do that now. Hey, Google. What are found biblical artifacts?
I found a table on Wikipedia that probably has your answer.
Okay. So, I have our list of found biblical artifacts. So, the statue of Idrami, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure what that says. That's a statue. That doesn't really say anything. Myrnifa steel. I'm not saying these right, I'm sorry. But Babylosite portal. They don't really relate to that. So we'll touch on that in a second. But let's talk Compicon. That's how you say that, I think. I understand why people would make a rain god because they don't understand but why would they make the real God? Well, because we need an explanation for things. In Bible times, we didn't have that. That goes back to my sky thing. When you look in the sky, we don't know. Yes, I know, Dead Sea Scrolls. That's how the Bible came about. Is from the Dead Sea Scrolls. But once again, people can't know that. We just can't. We just can't know if the God's doing things or not. I mean, it seems like I know that if I were running an entire world, I'd want people to know I existed. So if people didn't know I existed, I'd go up and shake their hand. I mean, right? That's what it would seem like to me. Losing my voice. I don't know if I'm going to make it 2 hours.
I don't think you will.
I understand. Yeah, so the real God, people didn't know where they came from back 5,000-10,000 years ago. So they made up God. God created us. See, I would say people created God. God did not create people. That would be my argument to that. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's my argument to that. Because, I mean, that's pretty logical to think when you don't have any other explanation. If you don't have theories like evolution and the Big Bang, we didn't know how all that worked 10,000 years ago. So we said, well, what if someone in the sky, or, not to sound like that, but hey, Desmond, haven't talked to you in a while. This is our religion discussion. You'll have to just pick up where we are. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, people would say, what if a higher power created us? What if we were dropped here I mean, I've heard people say that we were dropped off by aliens, and that Adam and Eve, and then we were just left here to repopulate. I don't believe in that at all. But it's pretty logical to think when you don't have any other explanation. Now, it's what I think is less logical. Would you like to say something, Alexa?
I'm bored out of my mind.
You're bored out of your mind? Why don't you expand your mind and try and take in some information here?
I'm going to break your arms.
Alright.
Continue on with what you were saying.
Alright. I'm going to... Compicon 2 says... It says in the Bible that the tomb was covered with a stone that weighed 2 tons and dropped into place. How could grave robbers move the stone?
They avoid the stone and dig where the hell he was
I mean,
buried.
but seriously, they could dig under it. I'm sure they had some way of digging under it. I don't know. Maybe they broke in another way. We don't know exactly what the grave looked like.
Was it a weak
And
stone?
how do we know 2 tons? I mean, how do we know that that's actually 2 tons? I mean, that could be anything. The unit of measurement could be different. I mean, there's a lot of things. But yes, it would be very hard. But I'm sure if you had enough people, and people were also physically stronger back then because we had to move rocks and stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. We just make a tractor to do it for us. That's what we do now. People actually had to do physical activity back then. So they were physically stronger. So if you had 10 or 20 people, you could move the stone, grab Jesus. Now, I don't know why you'd want to.
How would you grab him?
But there was only one entrance. Okay. So, maybe they beg to differ. Who knows?
They did beg to differ.
I mean, also it was guarded. Okay, so...
Well, they also beg to differ about that one, too.
Yeah.
Kill the guard.
Kill the guards.
Simple.
You know, killed the guards. Maybe the guards helped. Maybe the guards actually... I mean, Jesus was a big deal. So maybe the guards made a deal with the other people and they wanted to move the huge rock. I mean, there's a lot of ways that could happen. So,
Are you
that's... Well, I can't really eat while I'm talking.
Yes, you can.
Cannot.
Take a break.
Alright, well... Oh no, someone left. Who left?
Yay.
Oh, also, hi, Desmond. Sorry about your twisted ankle.
Why'd you twist his ankle?
I don't know. Sorry, I passed right by your comment, my bad. The guards were alive.
Well, they're not alive anymore.
Yeah, they're not alive now. That is true. But, okay, so how do we know they were alive?
How do we know there were guards in the first place?
Let's
Let's start with that.
Well, I mean, they would write that down. If there were guards, they'd probably write that down.
What if they didn't feel like it?
Honestly, that sounded super stupid, but actually that could be true. What if they didn't feel like writing it down? I don't know.
It's stupid, but I mean...
And in Rome, if they let the person escape death, was punishable by... Wait.
And in Rome, if they let the person escape death, was punishment for failing to guard the tomb.
Oh, if they let the person escape death was the punishment. You forgot your comma. Yes, that was true, but, they didn't write down if he died because the guard's just an average Joe Schmo. They're not
guards really couldn't care.
Well, they don't...
care.
I mean, they don't care. Who's going to write that down? So, that's what I would say to that. Also, but I want to go back to the God and Satan thing. There's written evidence in Roman history.
Some people beg to differ.
Alright, send me a link. I'll look it up. Or I'll look at it. I'm sure there's evidence that was written down for that. That's probably true.
There is.
Where's my atheist guy that was going to join? He was going to join. I don't know where he is. Who knows? Okay, that's not that. Not that I don't like talking to you guys, but I'd like to have someone who could back me up, who has a bigger brain than the person sitting next to me.
I will literally slap you so hard. Remember how painful that armbar was?
Yeah, we don't need to experience that again.
You know why beg to differ? Continue speaking.
Sorry.
Open that mouth and quit choking on the peppers.
Yeah, peppers are spicy.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Jalapenos are nothing.
They're not jalapenos.
I don't care. Those
They're
aren't spicy.
They're pepperoncinis.
Yeah, but they're not spicy.
Okay, shut it. I'm live streaming here.
I don't care.
So yeah, the God and Satan thing. So, truthfully, if God created everything, God also created Satan.
Why would he create
And
Satan?
so, exactly.
That's what I would love to
God
know.
created Satan. Even if it was an accident. So yeah, it was an accident. I've heard that Satan was an accident that God created. So, that sounds like a
Couldn't he
mistake.
fix the accident?
That sounds like a mistake to me.
Destroy Satan,
And it was also said that God never makes mistakes.
which is
So
just-
why is Satan not a mistake? I mean, he tempts us to do things. You know, no one likes to take responsibility for their own
go
actions.
rob a store.
So we have to blame Satan. That's my argument to that. So if God created Satan, why the hell are we paying for that mistake? Apparently humans, we make mistakes, right?
Everybody does.
So, but that's what we call mistakes. So, Satan, that sounds like God's problem to me.
It is.
So it was not, you said it was not an accident. So, why does Satan exist? Even so, if God created Satan, why do we have to pay for that? You know, why is it such a mistake when we, you know, steal something, which I have no tolerance for stealing, by the way. I hate stealing. I'm not promoting stealing here.
No.
So God already knows everything. Therefore, God would have to know that Satan was going to destroy the world, which he is, clearly. So, oh, hang on. I need to take a break from my voice for just a few seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's love now.
So Eve ate the fruit that Satan, who God created. God created Satan until he tried to become better than God. God casted him out. So, exactly. God casted him out so great. If that happened, why is that our problem? Why is it our problem that Satan's tempting us to do things? See, that's kind of just proving my point even more. So, why are people so sinful if God created Satan to tempt us to do things, and then God's mad at us for it? You see what I mean? It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all, actually. What is so funny, dude?
I'm gonna get some water.
Okay, my atheist guy joined.
Good for him.
Hello, Savage Atheist. Actually, it looks like your name is Mr. V. Would you mind commenting? So, take a look at the... Alexa, close the darn door. I'm going to have to get it in about 5 seconds, but she's going to come back. I really have to rest my voice for a second. Whew! Alright, so, you're saying until he tried to become better than God, God cast him out. Okay, so, but once again, hey, Mr. V, how's it going? Alright, so, let me fill you in on what we're talking about. Right now, we're talking about God, and he created Satan. Okay, so, because when Eve ate the fruit, sin came to the world. So, we don't know why Satan exists, but why is it our mistake? Why is it such a mistake that we do horrible things, but God created Satan? So that sounds like a mistake of God. God created humanity with free will. Okay, so then why is that? I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but I want to get this point across. So, God created humanity with free will, as you said right there in fine print. So, if he created free will, why is it right for him to get mad when we do the slightest little thing? Like, I mean, I've even heard that if you were to look at the opposite gender sexually, like even just think about sexual activity by looking at it, that's a sin. Now, I don't know why, because that's literally, that's what we're biologically supposed to do, but I don't know. Everything that God has done is to prove... Oh, okay, hang on 1 second. Alexa, I heard you. I heard you now. Okay, close the door. Everything that God has done is to prove a point. So, what point is he trying to prove? It seems like the point he's trying to prove is that he doesn't exist. I mean, all the points that I've heard on that God does exist are the points that he's apparently trying to prove. And so, it's just making me think he doesn't exist, is what I would say. So, it is a mistake because Eve chose to eat the fruit. But remember, you have to think of this in the whole scenario here. Satan tempted Eve to eat the fruit. So that would mean that it's not Eve's fault, which means it's God's fault. It's God's fault for that. That's not people's fault, which is why I don't believe in God. Because he made us, if you steal something, your mom is going to be mad. Yeah, but, great, my mom's mad. But, okay, God knew all that Satan would do before he did it. That's very true. That's why, as well as he knew Eve would eat the fruit beforehand. Yes, that's exactly true. So then why, this is what my question that's still not getting answered, why is that the mistake that people do? Why is that people's mistake? That's not people's mistake. Therefore, obviously, if God creates us, he's going to be mad. That doesn't make any sense. Why would God be mad at his creation? So, hang on. Yes, it is people's fault. God gave us free will. So, then that's God's mistake. God gave us free will. So, God is letting us eat that apple, and then it's destroying his whole world. Eve... Because God, seriously, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't add up. Because God works, this is the atheist guy, Mr. V.
Mr. V.
Yeah, I don't know why that's his name, but it's a cool name. Yeah, so Eve chose to eat the apple because they made a mistake. But remember, you're not thinking of this in the broader sense. Who was the mistake? Satan. Satan was the mistake. So, or it wasn't a mistake. I don't know. But Satan tempted Eve to eat the apple. And then it ruins God's entire creation. So, how does that make any sense? Why would God let that happen? I don't... Okay, name one that doesn't add up. How do they not add up? And remember, none of these theories are proven. Literally none of them. I mean, I can't prove that evolution exists, and we can't. I believe evolution exists, but I can't prove it. We also can't prove the Big Bang, even though I don't know if I believe in the Big Bang, but evolution has a lot of evidence going for it, and so does the Bible. Which is why this is such a hard discussion, is because none of these theories that we're talking about here have ever been proven. They're just not proven. And so that's why it's such a hard question. And so tell me where in the Bible evolution is talked about. So evolution cannot be talked about in the Bible if you don't know about it, because we can't. Yes, we do have evidence for those. So evolution is absolutely in the Bible. As I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, evolution is in the Bible. So, adaption is talked about, but remember what I said before. Adaption is evolution in a shorter term. So, Mr. V, you weren't here for this, but I want to explain this to you. I explained in the stream about my car theory. So, and actually it's a theorem because it's proven. So, none of us were alive when cars became the modern form of transportation. None of us were alive. The reason we know that horses were were the modern form of transportation before cars is because we were told by our ancestors. So, we wouldn't, if no one was there to tell us, we wouldn't know that horses were used for transportation because no one was there to tell us. So, is it possible that maybe something existed before people and people weren't there to say anything about it, right? So we wouldn't know. So you just have to kind of take it, it has to add up in a certain way. Wrong. What's wrong about it? Okay, hang on. I'll answer this question first. Where? Where is it in the Bible? Yes, we would. Yes, we would. What? Anyway, it's like I said, on the Bible thing, it's in the Bible because, actually, I don't know exactly the words in the Bible. I'm not a theologian, so, but it's in the Bible. I'm not going to cite it. I'm sorry, I know that sounds uneducated and all that. Quit laughing!
Make me.
Art, stories, care of horses, manuals.
Oh my god, I can't type English.
Okay, so, Mr. V, you said that's why we know that horses existed. So people had to write that.
They did write it.
I don't know where in the Bible it talks about evolution. But see, like I said, we wouldn't, like, in an entire human lifetime, we wouldn't see an evolution. So we wouldn't be able to write it down. Even the adaptation, I don't even think that could happen in an entire lifetime. I mean, it would have to happen. Nope, if you're going to...
How are we supposed to show evidence if you...
Oh, okay.
Basically can't type it via type. Can't explain it via type.
Well, I can, and here's why. Well, one, because it's my YouTube channel, and I can say whatever I want, but...
They can't prove
Fruit
it.
flies. Okay.
Those fruit flies has to do with anything.
I don't know. What does it have to do
I don't
with
think it has to
anything?
do with anything.
Well, it does. And
But
here...
you don't know where.
I'm kind of losing my voice, so I'm trying.
Just scream. It helps.
We have lab test. Yeah. So, but remember, we didn't have lab tests in Bible times. We can't test fruit flies. So
Just eat it.
that's why, they couldn't really write it down. But if you look at different stories in the Bible, evolution isn't really necessary. Evolution is just the change of something over a long period of time. So it's not really... I mean, it's just the change of something. And so... This is so much easier to explain in my head, but...
Just type it.
Why? I'm not even going to talk to you about that, Alexa. So... I keep losing my thought. I'm gonna reread the comments. So, so in the Bible, if you look at the Garden of Eden, I mean, we didn't have houses or anything on it, but now we have houses. So that's sort of an evolution. I mean, we figured out how to build a house.
Just take rocks and mud. It's simple.
The rocks and mud, yeah.
Just
Rocks
stack
and
them
mud.
on top of each other. You got a house.
Stack them on top of each other. All right. I'm going to eat my sandwich here while I'm waiting for another comment.
Yes, please eat your sandwich. It's been an hour since you didn't even touch your sandwich. I think it's gone bad.
No.
Look at this. Look at the dog.
Alright. So, you guys type another question. I'm going to pause for just a moment.
Pause the stream.
No, I can't pause the stream. I have to take a break, though.
You've been talking like a freaking maniac.
I know. I've been talking a lot. Okay.
Fold
you guys,
the sandwich.
You guys
and
type
eat it.
You type another question.
Don't type anything. Let Jack eat his sandwich.
No. Type a question.
No, let him eat the sandwich and then type a question. Damn, bro, you chew so loud.
Well, Okay, I understand. Okay, let me start my
Stop speaking. Eat the damn sandwich.
I'm gonna answer the question. That's why I'm doing the stream.
Eat.
Alexa, if I don't answer questions, people are gonna leave my stream.
I don't care. Eat your sandwich.
And I want people to stay on the stream.
I don't care.
Okay, so hello says.
Hello.
Shut it. If you don't know where in the Bible it talks about evolution to prove it to me, then you are the one not proving your own theories. Well, like I said, the theories can't be proven. They just can't. So, that's why they're theories. But you could sort of make it make sense, in a way, and that's sort of what they do to the Bible, too. But, I lose my voice.
Jack, take a break from talking.
No, I haven't.
It'll help you.
No. Okay, so, I actually did answer that question. You just have to think about it for a minute on how it could make sense. So, think of it as... Alexa, stop being disruptive.
I'm not.
So, in the Bible, we have, let's say, people are getting taller. That's actually a very good one. People are much taller now than they were. And whether... Why am I here? Nothing in the Bible is a theory. It absolutely is a theory. Nothing in the... Well, actually, plenty of things in the Bible have been proven. But the theory of God and Genesis, that has never been proven. And the theory of Jesus raising from the dead to be everyone's Messiah because he died on a cross, that's also a theory. That has never been proven. So this goes back... Actually, no, it doesn't. Okay. I'm going to wait for another comment to come in. I need to stop talking.
Jack, can you just take a break from talking?
I am taking a break from talking.
Yeah, only for 3 seconds.
Waiting for more comments. Whew. Hey, Mr. D, I haven't heard from you in a while. Why don't you say something? Or bring up something interesting. Anyone else want to say something?
I don't think anybody else wants to say anything because they're letting you eat your sandwich, Jack.
No, they're not.
They're letting me eat the sandwich.
They are not letting me eat my
There's a
sandwich.
whole paragraph.
Alright, well, I'm going to wait for another comment. They can't see us, so we have to keep saying stuff, otherwise they're going to think their stream is buffering, so...
I'm glad.
No, we actually... Why don't you make a funny joke or something?
I can't think of anything funny right now.
Really?
Usually I can, but I don't know why. I can't think of anything funny right now. I can just imagine that metal beam falling on you, Jack. I can imagine that falling on you. Dude, I'm laughing so hard.
Okay, give me 1 moment. I'll answer that question.
Mute the stream and scream.
Woo! Spicy sandwich. Alright, starting the timer, because I have to make it to 2 hours. Alright. Why do I believe in evolution? I'm sure that's a typo. Because when you think of adaptation, adaptation has been proven. I think of that in a longer and broader sense. So, I mean, I keep going over this, but adaptation is a shorter change. That's when a living thing adapts or changes to match its environment. So, Evolution? That's just bigger changes. So, that happens over a longer period of time. That's why I believe in evolution. So, should I talk if you are just... I think...
That's not English.
Why should I talk if you are just saying things without evidence to support it? Well, adoption is the same thing as evolution. I would rather believe in something good and find out I'm right than not believe in anything and find out I'm wrong. That's a common argument that I hear too. And I'm not judging you for believing in Christianity. I don't agree with it. But it just doesn't add up to me. So, but yes, if you want to believe in that, that's fine. I mean, this is America, I think. Where you are.
It is America, Jack.
It's America where I am, but I don't know. No, it's not. No, what's not? I keep losing my train of thought, so you're going to have to be more specific.
No one in this stream is ever specific about anything.
Okay, I will look up the definition.
Look it up, as a matter of fact, do it right now.
Yes, I'm doing it immediately.
Right this instant, right now.
Alright. And no, they're not the same thing, but they're similar. I'm sorry if I said they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. And my voice is going to go out. So, hey Google, what's the definition of evolution?
Here's the definition of evolution: the process by which different kinds of living organisms are thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms during the history of the Earth.
Okay, great.
Second definition.
That's the definition of evolution. Hey Google, what's the definition of adoption?
Here's the definition of adoption:
Adoption.
the action or fact of legally taking another's child.
No,
and bringing it up as
not adoption. Hey Google. Hey Google, what's the definition of adoption?
Here's the definition of adoption: the action or fact of legally...
Okay, let me spell it out. Hey Google. Hey Google. Define adaption.
Here's the definition of adaption, another term for adaptation.
Okay, perfect. Okay, fine. I'll do that. Hey Google. Adaptation versus evolution.
On the website askanydifference.com, they say, the difference between adaptation and evolution is that adaptation is the process of adjusting something to occupy and match the environment.
Okay, and then evolution is a general term that points out changes in anything over time. So, technically they're very similar. So, you cannot adapt to a different species. Well, let me ask you this then. Who names the species? The reason we have species... Yeah, adaptation, I said that eventually. But who names the species? People name the species. Animals don't go by the same... I mean, we don't do that. I mean, time. Time is another thing. Time is a human concept. People made time. People. Time is not an actual thing. It's just something that so people could, plan for things. So, yes, similar but not the same, but they're very similar. That's sort of the point I'm trying to make. Evolution is sort of a longer adaptation. So, they're still similar. People. Adam named all the animals. Okay, I don't believe that, but...
I don't believe that either.
Don't be mean, Alexa. But, no, I don't agree with that. But, someone named the animals. So... People name the animals. Animals don't... The names don't... I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. So, we have two different types of monkeys. A rhesus monkey and a pink-purple monkey. Whatever. We'll just go with purple monkey and pink monkey. Just make it easy. So, the reason we name them that is so that we can tell the difference between the two. So, if you have a purple monkey... I'm trying to figure out how to relate this. So... Maybe the pink monkey came from the purple monkey. So, I mean, you just said you cannot adapt to a different species, but you can change the current species. So, if you change the current species enough times, it'll eventually turn into the new species or whatever we would call it. So, we just name the species that we have now. if I'm making any sense to you. If evolution exists, how does a monkey name all the animals? That is not at all what I said. So that does not happen. People name the animals. Some, scientists. When you discover an animal, you get to name it. That's what happens. So, yeah. Then why did evolution say they change species? They do change species over time. Not instantly. That's the concept that we're trying to get here. Time. Now, time is a human concept. But over time, the species changes. The one species. A monkey didn't name the animals. I already said that. Scientists name the animals. When you discover an animal, when a scientist discovers a new animal,
DNA test.
Yeah, they get to name it. That's how that works. We're discovering new species all the time, and people name them. I mean, I think there was a new spider that was discovered 2 years ago or something. And then the scientist or whoever discovered it, Seth Maple. That's my friend from school. Hey, Seth. Sorry, the text coming late. Yeah, that's okay. I think there's also a stream delay. So, the reason why... Alright, well... Seth, you kind of missed the whole stream, so... You didn't really hear my argument on evolution, but you can play it back if you want. Yeah, you can. Or you can play it back when the video's over.
Actually, you
Yeah, you can rewind it. So, here's the other thing on evolution. Yes, monkeys don't have the intelligence to name animals. I keep forgetting where I left off. Oh yeah, the spider. So, the scientist discovers the spider, he gets to name it. So yeah, exactly. So, then, that's where our names come from. That's literally where our names come from. So, when we discovered a giraffe, someone named it a giraffe. Adam didn't name it a giraffe, So, why did every single animal that was back in the Bible get named, except for this one spider that was named? You know what I mean? So, species... So, once again, things evolve over time. Adaptions turn into evolution. So, you have your adaption, one adaption, another adaption, another adaption. Eventually, you have a new species. That's just, like I said, again, species are what humans called them. So, I'm going to take a break for a second. Keep sending in your comments. I'm going to try and finish my sandwich before the stream ends.
It's 3:24.
Well, or he named some of them. I don't even...
How the hell did they name the animals that don't have any DNA tests?
Maybe he did name animals. But maybe it's not the names we have now. Or they are. But what I'm saying is, he didn't name all the animals. He just couldn't have. We still, or we don't know the names anymore when he named them. But this is why evolution could be true. Keep sending in comments. I'm going to try and eat the sandwich. Alexa, why don't you talk to the stream?
Goodbye, everybody.
No. The stream isn't ending for 48 minutes. So, alright, we have 3 comments that came in. How come they don't have any archaeology evidence of evolution? Dude, we keep going over this. We do. We have dinosaur fossils. We don't have those now. We have, I guess all that. Go.
Just read it.
Fine. Okay, so we do. I guess that all the dinosaur fossils prove is that something existed before. I guess it doesn't support the evolving state. But okay, I'm gonna come back to that. My thoughts are all mixed up, and I keep losing my thoughts. Shut it. How do you know that? Well, I don't know that. I just go off of, facts that we have. That's why we have theories. Facts would lead to other theories. And so, then you lead it back to the atom thing. Of course I can't... Okay, that's the next comment. Yeah, so that wasn't a good example. But dinosaurs did exist. I believe. And I think that's pretty much been proven. Yeah, I know. You're talking about humans. Well, I guess. Alright. Send in another comment. I'm going to take a voice break.
Your voice breaks are like 2 seconds long.
I know. I like it because I get comments.
Well, I don't care. Caveman, fossils with dinosaurs.
Still waiting for more comments. Alexa, why don't you say something?
I don't know what to say. There, I said something.
You should post that.
Okay. Okay.
Any more comments? Start a new subject on this. Start a new religious discussion. Something else. Ask me another question of why I don't believe something. I'll answer it. Oh, I guess I have to pause the timer for my voice break. Someone left. Aww. Hey, Mr. V, are you still there? Oh, okay. Too many people are leaving now. I don't know what else to say. I think I pretty much made my point.
I think you made your point.
Wait, you're the only one watching this? Okay, someone's back. Okay, who just joined? Whew. I'm taking a voice break. Please comment something, ask me a question on the religion thing.
Immediately.
And I will respond to it. We have Alexa here too. You give up? Well, okay. Here's what I would say though. Just the world. Okay, let me play the timer. Okay. I'll talk to you later then, I guess. But the world is not black and white. I don't think that we have something that tells us. And by the way, just because you don't know any evidence doesn't mean that there isn't any. So, that's what I would say to that.
You're making too much noise, Jack.
You're making noise.
You're the one who's talking nonstop.
So, just think of it. Just think about it. Just try and think about how it could be possible. Just like, I could think about how the Bible could be true. And I do. And if we all agree to talking about this stuff, talking about religion, talking about, evolution, talking about everything. Because there's so many different religions in the world. if we all talked about it together, the world would be a much better place than to just, quit and all that. So, but now I have only one viewer.
I'm not watching.
Wait, you?
No, I'm not on the screen.
Oh, good. So I still have one viewer. Well, it doesn't look.
I think it proved your point already about everything that you had to say, pretty much. So, all right, everybody, stream over.
No, it's not over.
Everybody can leave.
All right, I have one viewer. Can you explain, or can you say something? Anything?
Type, because you can't hear them, Jack.
Woo! Alright, pausing the timer. Oh, I have another viewer. Okay. Someone type something. Read the stream of what we were talking about. Read the chat box. Type something.
Okay.
Not you.
You didn't specify who. I tried. It didn't work.
Oh, wait. Did I time you out?
I think you did.
Okay. Waiting for comments.
She minute has been timed out for the use of
For
the inappropriate use of the English
Is this
language.
you? Is this you?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I don't know. Anyone else? You're the only one on the stream. Anyone?
I think your stream's over.
I don't think it is. Oh, here, we got a comment from... Oh, the comments are delayed.
Oh yeah, big time.
Alright, that comment will be removed immediately.
That comment will be removed immediately.
Alright, well, I'm gonna sign off now. I lost.
Alright, stream over, everybody.
Shut it. You're the... Wait, we have a viewer. Say something and I won't end the
There's
stream.
no viewers.
There's two. You got off, so there's two viewers.
Good.
Say something and I won't end the stream. I need... Say something.
Everybody can leave.
Ask
Jack
a question.
has to go.
No, he does not. Say something.
Everybody leave.
I know the comments are delayed. I get it. I'll wait for the comments to come in. Whew. So, how about this weather we're having today? Oh wait,
It's
let's
hot as
actually
hell
check.
outside.
Yeah. Hey Google.
It's
What's the
88.
weather? Shut.
6 mile an hour wind south-southwest.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually 91. I lied.
Yeah, it's 91 degrees.
Everybody leave.
No, don't. Dude, shut it.
Did you
Say
hit
something.
me?
No.
That's what I thought.
Maybe.
Why is it so delayed? No, I will comment.
Alright, well. I didn't make my bet. I'm gonna sign off now.
That will be removed immediately.
Yeah, that will be removed.
Why did you remove it?
Alright, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being respectful. Everyone, except Alexa.
Shut up.
Everyone was very respectful, so I like that. And thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Great, stream is over.